Alright guys, it's me, Judd. No, it's the first video I've done in a long time. You'll have to excuse the volume. You may have to turn the volume up on your computers pretty high. I'm using my digital camera and the volume's not quite as good as it was on the webcam. Anyway, doing a little current events updates first. Congratulations to Jensen Kimmett for winning first place on 1A at the Pacific Northwest Regionals. Brian Figueroa won first 4A, and Sterling Quinn won first 5A. I don't know who won second or 2A. First place, I don't really keep up with 2A. Probably should, but I don't. We had one of our boys from Team Southern Spin at Pacific Northwest Regionals, Got Quack. He was up there. Said he took a lot of pictures. He's supposed to be posting those on the internet sometime pretty soon. I'll keep y'all updated on that. He also won a Yo-Yo Jam Axiom in a raffle while he was there. I've never played with an Axiom. He apparently wasn't too impressed. He said it was kind of iffy. So he's actually got it for sale right now, I think on the BST page on the Nation. But he also bought a String Theory Remnant, which are made right here in Texas. And he absolutely loves it. Says it's a solid throw. Loves the thing. Talked to him a little bit about it. Anywho, speaking of Jensen Kimmett, I don't know if all of y'all have really kept up with him, watching any of his videos. He is amazing. He is quickly becoming one of my my favorite players of all time. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. A little update on me. For all y'all that got the PM, I did lose my job last Monday. However, bit of good news, I got a new one already. I got laid off last Monday, a week from yesterday, for reasons I really don't know. They didn't tell me. But then immediately my wife got on the internet looking for another job for me. And then Wednesday afternoon I got a call about a job at a place in Lufkin, which is only about 20 miles, about 15-minute drive from here. They wanted me to come in Thursday morning for an interview. I went in there Thursday morning. They asked me to come back Friday morning for a second interview. Went in there Friday morning, did my paperwork for the background check and drug test and all that good stuff. And then yesterday morning they called me back and said everything came out good and they officially offered me the job. So I start at 9:30 tomorrow morning. So that's a good thing. That way I'll have some money again to buy some more gear. Anyway, a little bit about what's been going on with me. First off, got a little surprise in the mail the other day. Got this, the Big Brother Titty Twister, or Tata Twister for the edited version for y'all. I have to say that this yo-yo is amazing. For those of y'all that have read some of my PMs, I do not like floaty yo-yos. I'm all about an anchor yo-yo, man. I like a little weight on the end of the string. I wasn't sure about this one because the other reviews that have been posted says it's a floaty yo-yo. However, let me just say something. The reason I don't like floaty yo-yos is, one, I'm not a big fan of what they call frantic style play. It's the style that like Augie Fash, Yuki Spencer, Hiroyuki Suzuki, Mickey uses. Don't get me wrong, those guys are amazing players. I love what they do. I have all kinds of respect for them. But personally, I'm not a really big fan of that frantic style, really quick play. The reason why is, one, they're going so fast that if they messed up, you wouldn't even be able to tell. At least most people wouldn't, because it's so fast. Secondly, I like the more intentional looking play, the slower, solid. I'm more of one of those guys that I like the really technical, complicated tricks. And I like being able to see every string hit and every move they make. I just really like that. I like the more flowy, style play rather than the really quick. So that's why I'm not a really big fan of floaty yo-yos. Those tend to be more for the guys that like the quick play. So I like a more solid feel. Another reason I don't really care for floaty yo-yos is floaty yo-yos tend to not have quite as good of a spin time as heavier yo-yos because they don't have as much weight around the rims. So they tend not to spin as long. And secondly, in my experience with floaty yo-yos, they don't tend to be quite as stable as heavier yo-yos. However, this yo-yo absolutely blew me away. First of all the reasons I don't like floaty yo-yos were blown out of the door with this yo-yo. When you first throw it, it feels like a floaty yo-yo. It doesn't feel like it has a lot of weight to it. It does, it just doesn't feel like it does. However, this thing spins as long, if not longer, than my Project 2s, which absolutely blows my mind. So there's one of my reasons for not liking floaty yo-yos out the door with this particular yo-yo. Secondly, this yo-yo is amazingly smooth, and is extremely stable. Very forgiving on a bad throw. Wonderful yo-yo. Another reason I like this yo-yo is my first really good yo-yos obviously had C bearings. With those of us that do 1A style play, that's usually the bearing we like. Is the big bearing, has a lot of room for string wraps for complicated tricks. However, and that's the reason I really didn't care for A bearings for a long time, because the gaps were never as big, never seemed to have as much room for complicated string tricks. However, then one day I got my Shuriken a couple years ago, year and a half ago or so, and it came with a D bearing, which I learned to absolutely love. It has the small diameter of an A, which makes it really great for 5A play, freehand play, which I do all the time. But it's also got almost the same width as a C bearing, which makes it great for multiple string wraps and great for complicated string tricks. So I quickly fell in love with the D bearing. And from that point on, I was determined to get a full-size yo-yo, or rather a yo-yo that was not a mini yo-yo, that used a D bearing. H-Spin, most of their yo-yos use Ds. However, every time I had the money to get a yo-yo, I never could find one that used a D bearing. However, when I got this puppy, the Titty Twister, guess what? It uses a D bearing. And let me say that the bearing, I'm used to when I get new yo-yos having to put another bearing in them because the bearings that usually come with them aren't that great. However, this yo-yo that Big Brother sent with the Titty Twister is phenomenal, y'all. It comes clean and dry and absolutely spins first stinking ever. Also, I know you've probably read this on the reviews, but it does have Matador spikes. The amazing thing is that the Matador spikes are also the axle. I'd never seen that before until I read the reviews and saw it. A lot of people question whether or not that axle configuration causes vibe of any kind in this yo-yo. It doesn't. Not at all. This yo-yo has absolutely no vibe. It's extremely smooth. So my suggestion is that people, even if you don't like floaty yo-yos, you still need to get this yo-yo. This yo-yo is most definitely a must-have for every yo-yo arsenal. I prefer undersized yo-yos, as you know. This is only 52 millimeters, so this is still in the undersized category. I've always been told the undersized category is from 50 to 53 millimeters, so this is definitely still in the undersized category. Another cool thing, I got in the mail from a friend of mine today who has given up this hobby. Recently, though, he had gotten several new yo-yos, two of which were the Bully and the Wedgie by Big Brother. He found out I really liked their products, so he's selling most of his yo-yo collection online, but because I got him into the sport, he decided to send me those two yo-yos of his for free. So, be very, very jealous. So, today, in the mail, I got the Wedgie, and I got the Bully. Now, first off, let me say something about the Bully. The Bully is 53 millimeters in diameter, the very top end of an undersized yo-yo. On one review, they still call it a full-sized yo-yo. However, I still consider it an undersized yo-yo because the first professional yo-yo I ever got was a Hitman. This Hitman right here, which is the same type of yo-yo that won the 2004 Yo-Yo World Competition by Johnny Del Valle. On the website, it was called an undersized yo-yo, and it is 53 millimeters in diameter, so I've always considered undersized yo-yos to be 50 to 53 millimeters. So even though one review called the Bully a full-sized yo-yo, I'm still calling it an undersized yo-yo because it's 53 millimeters. Now, if I remember correctly, hold on one second. Okay, these are the containers the Bully and the Wedgie came in. The Bully is almost 68 grams. It's 67.9 grams, 53 millimeters in diameter, 41 millimeters wide. Let me just say,